Hello dear students, welcome to our scientific presentation class. As we know, this is the 6th level of your speaking class. Therefore, the assignments and exams will be more challenging than the previous ones. In this class, you are going to have the book review presentation and also the book review report. And of course, before doing that, you will have to understand about some principles in writing the book review and also how to present them. Okay, therefore, in this meeting's objectives, you will be able to understand the principle of book review, and you'll be able to apply the principle in review also, and then the last one, you'll be able to apply the principle of presenting the book review. Okay, now let's discuss one by one. So principally, in writing the book review, there are some parts that you need to write. There are 5 stages in writing the book review. The first one is you have to write about the book profile. And in this section, you have to write 150 words minimum, right? And then the second one, after the book review, you have to write the author profile. In this section, it is 200 words minimum. Okay, and then the next one, that's the synopsis of the book, right? It's 250 words. And then the next part, this is the important part, is the discussion. It contains 450 until 500 words. Okay, this is the biggest part of this book review, so you need to pay attention more on this part later. I will explain it also later. And then the last one, this is the references. So we require you to provide at least 3 references from the books or journals which is related to the discussions that you write based on the book you have read. Okay, now let's discuss them one by one. So the first principles in the book profile. So here I'll give you the example. Let's say I'm reviewing a book entitled Islam, Culture and Education. Okay, we can start the first narrations from this book profile. We can write the book was first published in 2014, and then Remaja Rosda Karya published it in the segmentations of blah blah blah, for example, and it contains of 437 pages and is divided into, let's say we say 5 chapters, and then you elaborate more about this book profiles. And don't forget to mention about the affiliations of the book's publishers also. Okay, and then the next one, we are writing the author profiles. Since this is the book written by one of the lecturers in Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, right? We can start the narrations with this sentence. The writer of this book is one of the lecturers in Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. He is the lecturers of blah blah blah, and then you can mention about some other works of him, and then you can talk about his interest of study, right? And then his experiences in the related topic in the books and etc. So the point is you have to mention about the profile of this book author. And then the next one, this is the synopsis. Differently with the book profile, the synopsis is more detailed into the story or the narrations in the book's chapters itself. You can write the summary of the books. That's why it's called the synopsis. This is the short versions of the book. Let's say we have 5 chapters. You have to write down the summary of each chapter. So there should be 5 parts from the books. And remember, you have to write only the main ideas of the book, so not all of them. So even though it's more detailed than the book profile, you shouldn't put very specific details because it's just a synopsis. It shouldn't be too detailed, unless it will be the long story, not just the synopsis, right? So the thing is, you have to be able to write and to present the points of this book in short ways. But remember also about the word counts which is required for you to write. Okay, these are the examples of the synopsis of this book. So I wrote them in some paragraphs because this book contains of some chapters. Okay, this one is also the examples. Next, we are moving to discussion, right? As the books here, Islam, culture, and education, and in the books also the book also discusses how is the education in Islam and how is the culture influences the education system in Islam. Right. In this chapter, you can discuss about there are some possible discussion you can write. So the first one, you can write about the education itself related to Islam, and then the second one, the culture, right? So there is the possible way to narrate it. So you can write down or you can discuss so how the culture influences the education in Islam, or how the culture or Islam influences the religion itself, Islam, in this case Islam. And in this discussion, you have to support your writing, your discussion with some, let's say theories, or let's say some journals, some research that have been conducted in those topics. And after that, after discussing it, don't forget to put references in this chapter. Remember, at least you must write 3 references. That's the minimum, at least, right? But if you want to use more than 3, that will be a way better. Then don't forget to write down the references based on the APA style. You can download the APA guideline book on the internet. It's freely accessed. So you can download them, read them, and then pay attention carefully to the way you refer to some articles or journals. Okay, so next week meeting will be the submission deadline for your book review. I will read your book review and then correct them if you have any problems about this book review. But before that, you have to do the peer review first. Before you submit it to me, make sure that it's been reviewed by your friends. And if you have any questions about this, don't forget to ask your questions in the forum that I have provided in this Pada. Okay, that's all for today's sessions. I'll be waiting for your assignments to be submitted, and see you next meeting.